this particular project, it's is a very important project. I mean, just to also back my claims with some kind of data. I mean, demographic and health survey data in 2018 actually shows that 28% of women are actually experiencing physical violence, and of course 45% of them aged 15 to 49 are also like they do not speak out. I mean, most of them do not even see somebody to report to, and of course research and data also shows that many people, especially men and women, are also experiencing gender-based violence, and which is what's actually brought about this particular study. So this study actually seeks to understand men's perspectives, because we realize that men's if we're talking about gender-based violence actually, so men characteristics and features are always at the core part of this particular sensitive topics, which is why we want to gather their perspective to gender-based violence against women, and also to understand its prevalence among men. Yeah, so basically that's just about the project. Yeah. So basically, I mean, with the training that we did, which is about 2 to 3 days training, the approach that we actually employ, also it's a very good approach. And with what we've the screening that we did for these FOs, I mean the field officers, also shows that they are more than ready to go for the training. So it's not just them. I mean, we equip them to understand the concept of the project, what gender-based violence means, some of the types of gender-based violence that we have, and also we also give them some kind of research protocols. What are the things that they need to do when they go to the field? What are those specific things? I mean, in terms of requesting for consent from the participants. If there are challenges that they face during the field, what are those things that they have to know? How do they have to approach those challenges? All of these things are things that we've equipped them with, and of course, with our pilots and also our screening for them, we understand that they are 100% ready for this training. First of all, we want to appreciate the Ford Foundation for supporting us on this project, also the Kunie Foundation, and also the Ministry of Women Affairs for partnering with us, Edge Research Services, for this particular project. I mean, we really appreciate all our partners and also our support firms. So basically, this particular study, like I mentioned before, it's something that is actually prevalent among Nigeria. That is why we are also covering the entire 36 states plus FCT. So we believe that with this study, it's not only going to provide solution, it will also support existing empirical data that is available.
Now, it's not also your problem to think about the EA. We also want to know the particular EA that we have to assign to each person sitting on this hall. Do you understand? So, I mentioned that the states, we really want to select that. The LGA per state, we also really want to select that. The EA is also our problem. So, what is left for you guys? Just the last two, which is what? Regulate and also consider big lives. Yes. No add at all. Do you understand? So what I want to explain now is that since we've already covered this, now the remaining two, we also provide how you guys have to do it. You don't just want to give it to you that what you are doing it. We also explain step by step the process on how you have to work on the daily needs and also the household. Which is what I want to do now. Now once you get to a particular EA, so in a particular state, you are going to assign supervisors for each state. So your supervisor is going to be responsible to assign a particular EA to you. Or maybe like maybe you can say okay, 2 persons should have over Bakery. What other should is it So let us say ABC streets or ABC EA. And a particular EA can be as many as like you have like many streets. It can be ABC, it can be GF, it can be GHI streets. A particular EA. So it is left for us to choose like this is particular EA. The total experience of the will now assign a particular street in that EA to now cover. Do you get it? Now, for every street, these are going to be looking at there's always 2 entrances for each street, right? Then they'll be like, let's say a particular street and street ABC. So they'll be like, you can pass through this line or this entrance. You can also pass through the other entrance, right? And for every any street, there's always like houses by the right, houses by the left. Right? Now, don't forget that what we are trying to do is that we want to select a particular trade unit before we now select house.
This project is happening across all the 6 states, including the FCT, which is very exciting. So far, so good. We have been able to have cluster trainings across various geopolitical zones. So we group various states within the same proximity, have a central training with them. For a major stride, it's very important that we know what we are working with, and that's where we come in. Quality data and good insight. So we may assume that, oh, we know so much about GBV already, but it's time to really go into the populace and find out how much do people know, what are people aware of, and what is people's perception with regards to gender-based violence. This one is very unique because now we're focusing on the male populace. So we're talking to men, diverse cultures, in all the 36 states, asking for their perception, their experiences, because we do know that majorly men are perpetrators of gender-based violence. And I like the angle that we're coming from because usually women tend to open up and tell their stories, but we need to also see things from the perpetrator side of things. So why do they think like this? Why do they feel like this? So, and with that data, then we are able to fashion or tailor solutions that can address some of these issues. Yes, we have had a few challenges, but as we know, when we have a project like this, challenges are not avoidable. We just have to, be ready to create solutions around it. First off, it took us a very rigorous, step to make sure that we are recruiting the right side. We have the right set of field officers on the team, people who may have experience with GBV studies, and not just that, people who are young and vibrant, who can go out there without being biased, and who are teachable. So it took us a while to put that in together, considering we're looking at 36 states. And what we eventually did with training, after training, we went through the pilot, which is to go into communities' real-time experiences. So it's okay to train and talk about a lot of things in the classroom, but now we also need to go out and see how really is it when you're on field. So the one I can remember vividly was in Abuja. We went to a community in the Abuja at a rural community called Sauka, and we remember facing a little bit of resistance from the community. They're wondering, what is this all about? But we're able to go and speak to the Seriki, and eventually we received a warm welcome. So that's been, but overall, we have come thus far. So I think I've been able to overcome most of the challenges.
Now, this is the one part of the team of this study. We have a qualitative team as well who will be handling all of these case studies. We're going to be going to inmates, we're going to be talking to community leaders, just to dive deep into the issues around complexities. Now, critical thinking and empathy. To encourage, so these are some of the things the case studies and the group discussion are going to cover. To think critically and develop empathy for affected individuals, problem solving and strategies. To analyze scenarios to identify factors and propose practical prevention. So we know that people can come in different forms, but how are we able to address it? Tailor those solutions and create support strategies. Now, community preparedness. Interactive learning prepares individuals to respond effectively to issues in their communities. Now, we even see some schools now that have been teaching even children on cases of gender or abuse. Oh, if they touch you in this place, it's my private area. I mean, you'll be hearing that now.
Yes.
Okay, this is a private area, it's not touching here. Even as a boy child,
you know. So those are, it's very important. All of this is resources and support system. This is also very important. The legal aid services, associations of human rights activists, local and international organizations provide critical legal aid service to support survivors of GBV in navigating the justice system. So this person is a survivor, helping them to get justice. Counseling and shelters, very spoke about that. That's for River State. What's the name of that?
Sexual assault referral center.
Sexual assault referral. Not having facilities like that, more within communities where people can go and see what is not happening and have a safe space.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting part of this training because one, I give you deep knowledge, that is half insight about what the gender is all about. Generally, masculinity, we are thinking that father or being men, we are in control, we are on a whole, and that you don't give me the grace. I really know because it's affecting me in my own at home too. There are some area or other that I've been treating my wife on these issues, maybe denial, some economic, maybe financial, something, other issues. But this is an opener to me for these hours or days we are spending on this training. That will give me an edge that whatever I'm going to do, I must do it properly so that you get result of what you are looking for. Personally, I said I learned things that will be of help to me, my household. It's 10 over 10.
I think when it comes to fairness, balance, I think though I have some view about it, but I think I've learned a lot on how to balance gender when it comes to gender base between the male and female, how to draw a line and how to go about it. Yes, even though we're going back as enumerators in the field, I think we will have to carry out advocacy within the community and also within the male populace on how they can go about the balance when it comes to fairness in society.
I'm very grateful to be here, the opportunity to be here, to learn a lot concerning masculinity and gender-based violence. I think I've gathered more experience so far based on what we have been taught since I think a few days we have been here. And I know that what we have learned so far will put me through in what that is ahead of us. That's of a fieldwork assignment.
I'm very delighted to be a part of this because of the gender issues in my state. I think with this study, we are going to be able to determine the prevalence, the causes, and strategies to prevent it. And we also know the role men play in this gender-based violence and try to identify their problems and also offer solutions. It will be very useful. One of the key things we have is data. We don't have data to solve, to use in planning or taking decisions. I think this one will be a very good one for the state and also for the country. When it comes to about gender-based violence, we know that these things happen. But something that I've added to my knowledge in community space is the area of financial abuse. Only just before, I just know that it's physical, emotion, and sexual. But one thing that I've added is the financial abuse I've brought from this class. Then secondly, to see that men, the role of men, the cultural norms that makes men to operate this gender balance. So with this, I've come to get some more understanding deeper than what I used to know. I'm in a high spirit. In fact, once I go back, I will also share this knowledge with some of my colleagues, because already I'm also a gender advocate. So I'm so glad that I'm part of this study.
I have a little knowledge about, not much this before, but coming here now, I have been able to really understand better, and I was able to see it in a very bigger way, more than just the way I used to see it before. And I was able to understand that it's not just about, when they talk about gender based following stuff, people used to think it's just all about girls alone. But throughout the training, I've been able to see it is not just girls, ladies, women, anything. It has to do with everyone. People are really passing through that, so I've been able to see better in a clear picture.
I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here, most especially based on the topic of the project, which is the masculinity, gender-based violence. And also, coming to that, I think that with this project, more light should be through, and also awareness coming to the equity and equality of the gender. Because from the start, I don't think that if there is actually a ministry for men affairs, and I believe with the help of this course, that women will be more able to speak up, to voice out. Because from start, you will find out that currently in Nigeria, or most especially in Southeast, from police reports, that the percentage of men to female in terms of suicide is too alarming, which is almost 78% of it. Reason is that women, naturally or culturally, we are being seen that we don't speak up, we bear everything, and we die in silence. From the field officer, we are going there to interact with our correspondents and also get their answer, and also encourage them, and also create awareness for them to speak up, and also for them to speak up and also know that there is an existing institution there to hear their cry. Rating the training from all angles, it was educative, interactive, and informative. So, yeah, I will rate it 10 over 10.
So far, the training has been fun, quite stressful, not that stressful, because we've been sitting for almost 7 hours every day. But it's actually nice learning new things and overall improving ourselves for the project at hand. Yeah, I can say I'm quite satisfied because I've had experience, and from the training so far, I've added to my experience, so I'm just good to go.
Well, coming for this training here, I've really learned a lot, because I was meant to understand that gender-based violence is not just applicable to women alone. Even men undergo the same thing. So coming here, I was made to understand that it's on both sides, not just on the women alone. And even men undergo through it too in their respective homes. The most interesting part about the training is about the gender issue and the gender norms in the society, which is applicable to every society. Every society have their own gender norms. So going to Akwa State, where I'm going to represent, we are going to work. I think the first step we take, we go for advocacy, letting them know the impact of gender-based violence to men and women. I really appreciate Kunie and Ash for bringing this wonderful program in Akwa State. Please, we look forward to see more of this coming, because as we are going in there for this purpose, we are going to educate them. And if more of these programs are coming, I think we will stand a better chance to educate them more. And I think we are going to cop out gender-based violence. If not 100%, at least 70% will cop out.
I've learned about gender-based violence against men, and way forward to address issues against men. Because currently we know that it's only women that voice out their own issues. Men, they hardly voice out their own. They always have their own in the mind. And most of the times it's killing them. So I think this is an opportunity to make them understand that they can also voice out their own gender-based violence. I'm very much excited because I think I can impart with the little I have learned here. I can be able to address some men out there to benefit from the little I have gained here. I'm very much happy. I think this program will do a lot, not only here, but in Enugu, where I will be representing. In this will enlighten them. These they can be able to speak up. They know that at least how someone have them in mind. They can also share their problems with the appropriate authorities. I'm very much happy. At least I need more of these to be coming. Looking up to Kunie for more of this type of program.
Though I hadn't prior experience as a researcher or a field officer before, but I have worked with the federal government a little bit on house-to-house validation, which is going on right now. But because of this training today, starting yesterday, which started yesterday, I have learned a lot on the approach on how to handle field research in the field.
Thank you.